Listen to me very carefully. Life is not easy. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It will break you down if you're not strong enough to stand up to it. But that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it worth living, because the truth is, if life were easy, everybody would win. If it were easy, everybody would be successful. But it's hard because greatness demands sacrifice. You got to understand something. Life will test you. It will take you through pain, through heartbreak, through rejection, and through moments when you question if you can keep going. But those moments, those struggles, those sleepless nights, they are the foundation of your strength. The pain you feel today will become the power that drives you tomorrow. Don't ever think that successful people had it easy. No, they cried, they failed, they got rejected, they wanted to quit, but they did. They got up one more time. They kept moving when everything around them said to stop. You see, life is hard because it's supposed to separate the weak from the strong, the quitters from the fighters. And you were not born to quit. You were born to endure, to overcome, to rise. When you get knocked down, don't stay down. Get up, wipe your tears, fix your mindset, and move forward. Because pain is temporary, but quitting is forever. You can't expect success to come without a struggle. You can't expect a harvest without planting seeds in the dirt. So stop running from the hard. Stop asking for easy. Easy won't change you. Easy won't build you. Easy won't prepare you for the dream. It's the hardship that builds your character. It's the pain that develops your purpose. Every time you face something hard, say to yourself, this is shaping me. Because one day you're going to look back and realize the very thing that tried to destroy you is the same thing that built you into who you are. So don't pray for easy. Pray for strength. Don't ask life to get softer, get tougher. Because when life gets hard, and it will, that's your signal to rise higher, to grind harder, to push deeper. Remember this, life will never hand you success. You have to take it. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. Because that's what makes it real. That's what makes it yours. Life is not easy. It's hard, but it's worth it. Every single struggle is worth it. Pain is the foundation of strength. You can't build greatness without pain. You can't develop character, discipline, or resilience if life always feels good. The truth is, pain is the price you pay to grow. Most people run away from it. They avoid it. They complain about it, but they don't understand that every ounce of pain you experience has a purpose. Nothing great ever comes without struggle. You can't become strong if you've never been weak, and you can't appreciate victory if you've never faced defeat. Pain is the teacher life sends when comfort has failed to do its job. When you go through something difficult, when you're tested, when your back is against the wall, that's when your true self is revealed. It's easy to talk about success when everything's good. It's easy to stay positive when the sun is shining. But when life hits you hard, when you lose someone, when your plans fall apart, when nobody believes in you, that's when you find out what you're made of. Pain strips away the mask, shows you who you really are. And when you face it with courage, when you refuse to quit, that pain becomes your power. People look at strong individuals and say, I wish I could be like that. But they don't see the years of tears, the nights of doubt, the moments of breaking down and rebuilding. Strength isn't given. It's built through pain. Every champion has scars. Every winner has wounds. Behind every success story, there's a chapter of struggle that nobody saw. You can't shortcut the process. You can't avoid the fire and still come out gold. You have to go through the furnace of life and let it shape you. When you go through pain, you learn things that no book can teach you. You learn patience. You learn humility. You learn endurance. You learn what really matters. Pain teaches you that success isn't about comfort. It's about perseverance. It's about standing tall when everything inside you wants to collapse. You start to understand that the world doesn't owe you anything, that every dream comes with a cost, and that cost is often pain. Sometimes pain feels like punishment, but it's really preparation. Every painful moment is getting you ready for the next level. The struggle you're in today is strengthening the muscles you'll need for tomorrow. Every disappointment is making your mindset tougher. Every failure is teaching you how to fight smarter. Life isn't trying to break you. It's trying to build you. The problem is, most people quit before the process is finished. They stop in the middle of pain and never realize that breakthrough is just on the other side. Think about it. A bodybuilder doesn't get strong by lifting light weights. The muscle only grows when it's pushed beyond its limit. The tearing of the muscle fibers is what makes it rebuild stronger. The same is true for your spirit. Every time you face a challenge and keep going, you tear the limits off your potential. You stretch yourself, you grow, you become more than you were before. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your personal trainer. It's life's way of saying, we're getting stronger. But most people don't see it that way. They see pain as something to escape. They numb it with distraction, avoid it with excuses, or hide it behind fake smiles. They don't realize that by avoiding pain, they're avoiding growth, because without pain, there's no pressure. Without pressure, there's no progress. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure, not in comfort. So if you're going through something hard right now, understand this. You're not being destroyed, you're being refined. When life gets painful, that's when you have to dig. That's when you have to remind yourself why you started. That's when you have to keep pushing even when it hurts. Because every time you fight through pain, you earn something you can't buy: strength. Real strength. Not physical strength, but mental and emotional resilience. The kind of strength that keeps you standing when everything around you is falling apart. The kind of strength that makes you unstoppable. The greatest people in history didn't rise because life was easy for them. They rose because pain taught them to never give up. Pain taught them focus. Pain taught them self-belief. They learned how to stand tall in the storm. Every time they fell, back up with more wisdom and more determination. That's what pain does. It builds layers of strength around your spirit until nothing can break you. You see, when you look back on your life, you'll realize the moments that hurt the most were the ones that changed you the most. The heartbreak that almost crushed you made you compassionate. The failure that embarrassed you taught you humility. The rejection that hurt you taught you independence. Every painful experience was a building block in your foundation. Without those blocks, your strength wouldn't stand. So stop cursing the pain. Start thanking it. Thank the pain for showing you what you're capable of. Thank it for forcing you to grow, for pushing you to become better. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices. Stay down and complain, or get up and grow stronger. Choose growth. Choose strength. Pain will visit everyone. You can't avoid it. The question isn't whether you'll face pain, it's whether you'll use it. Will you let it define you or refine you? Will you let it break you or build you? The answer is in your mindset. When you understand that pain is the foundation of strength, everything changes. You stop running. You start embracing the grind. You stop fearing challenges and start seeking them because you know they're shaping you into your best self. And listen, there's a difference between suffering and growing. Suffering is when you go through pain without purpose. Growth is when you go through pain with faith. You gotta believe that your pain has meaning, that every struggle, every tear, every setback is preparing you for something greater. You might not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize it all made sense. The pain was necessary. It was molding you into the person who could handle the blessing. Every strong person you admire once stood where you are. Broken, tired, uncertain. But they decided not to quit. They decided that pain wouldn't be the reason they stopped. It would be the reason they kept going. They understood that pain is not permanent, but the strength it produces lasts forever. When you push through pain, you earn respect, not from others, but from yourself. You start trusting yourself again. You start realizing that you can survive anything. That's where confidence comes from. Not from winning all the time, but from knowing you can rise after every fall. That inner confidence becomes your armor. No matter what comes next, you're ready because you've already been through worse and survived. So the next time life hits you, don't run. Don't complain. Don't break down. Stand tall. Breathe. Remind yourself of this pain is my foundation. This is my strength in disguise. Embrace the discomfort because it's transforming you. Don't let your pain go to waste. Let it build something powerful inside you. A heart that never quits. A mind that never doubts, and a spirit that never surrenders. The truth is, pain is not here to punish you. It's here to promote you. You just have to endure long enough to reach the other side. Because the other side of pain is power. The other side of pain is peace. The other side of pain is your purpose. You can't skip the process. You can't avoid the fire. You have to go through it, let it shape you, and come out unbreakable. And when you do, when you stand on the other side, stronger, wiser, and more determined, you'll realize that the pain you once hated was the greatest gift life ever gave you. Because without it, you would never have discovered the depth of your own strength. You would never have found out how powerful you truly are. Pain doesn't weaken you. It awakens you. It opens your eyes to what you're capable of. It reminds you that the strength you've been searching for has been inside you all along, waiting to be revealed through the fire of life. So embrace the pain. Let it teach you. Let it mold you. Let it build you, because pain is the foundation of strength, and strength is what will carry you to your destiny. Don't wish for easy, wish for growth. Because if everything in your life came easy, you would never know your true potential. You would never push yourself. You would never stretch beyond what's comfortable. It's easy to want a smooth life, a path without struggle. But that kind of life never builds champions. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from challenge, from pressure, from moments that test every part of who you are. You have to stop praying for life to get easier and start praying to become stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. People often think success is about talent, opportunity, or luck. Success is built on growth, and growth is never easy. Growth means you will have to go through seasons of pain, confusion, and disappointment. It means you'll have to learn lessons that hurt. It means you'll be forced to change the way you think, the way you move, and the way you live. Growth is uncomfortable because it's transformation. And transformation requires breaking down who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. When you wish for easy, you're wishing away your strength. You're asking life to keep you small. You're saying, I don't want to be tested. I don't want to be bothered. But when you wish for growth, you're opening the door to power. You're saying, I'm ready to be shaped by the fire. I'm ready to learn, to improve, to become better. Easy never made anyone great. Easy never produced excellence. Easy never created leaders. Easy is where dreams die, and growth is where purpose lives. Think about it. Every great story you've ever heard is about someone who went through something hard. They faced obstacles, setbacks, failures, and still found a way to rise. They didn't have it easy. They grew through the struggle. That's why their story inspires you. If they had it easy, there would be nothing to admire. No lesson to learn, no strength to witness. The greatness you see in others is the result of years of growth, not years of comfort. Growth requires resistance. A tree only becomes tall and strong because it fights against the wind and the weather. The roots grow deeper because of the storm. The same is true for you. If everything in your life was simple, you never dig deep. You never build resilience. You never discover how powerful you truly are. The hard moments are not there to hurt you. They're there to help you grow roots of patience, of persistence, of purpose. When life gets tough, when you're facing something that feels impossible, that's not a signal to give up. That's your moment to grow. That's life saying, it's time to level up. Every challenge is a mirror that shows you what's inside. If you quit, you'll never see your full reflection. But if you face it, if you stay and fight through it, you'll come out wiser, stronger, and more capable than ever before. Most people waste their pain because they complain about it instead of learning from it. They keep asking, oh, why me? Instead of asking, oh, what is this teaching me? You have to shift your perspective. Stop seeing difficulties as punishment and start seeing them as preparation. The universe isn't trying to destroy you, it's developing you. Every hard thing you face is stretching you so you can carry bigger blessings. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide that no matter what happens, you will rise. Wishing for easy is dangerous because it makes you soft. It keeps you in a bubble where you never experience the real strength of life. You can't build confidence without challenge. You can't build courage without fear. You can't build endurance without trials. You can't grow if everything stays the same. Growth is born in discomfort. You grow when you try something new, when you fail and get up again, when you push yourself past what you thought was possible, That's how you evolve. That's how you become unshakable. It's like climbing a mountain. The view from the top is breathtaking, but the climb is exhausting. You can't reach the summit by taking the easy path. You have to endure the rocks, the steep slopes, the exhaustion, and the pain in your leg. But when you reach the top, every step, every struggle, every obstacle makes sense. That's what growth feels like. It's painful while you're climbing, but once you rise, you realize the struggle was the greatest teacher. You have to fall in love with the process of becoming. Don't rush it. Don't try to skip the hard parts. Growth takes time. Just like a seed doesn't turn into a tree overnight, your potential won't bloom without patience. The storms, the darkness, and the seasons of waiting are all part of your growth. You can't force the flower to open before it's ready. Let life shape you. Let time refine you. Let the process strengthen you. Sometimes growth will cost you people. You'll outgrow relationships, habits, and environments that no longer align with where you're headed. That's the painful part of growing. Realizing that you can't stay where you are and still reach where you're meant to go. You have to let go of the familiar to make space for the future. That's why easy isn't good for you. Easy keeps you in the same place, repeating the same patterns, living the same story. Growth demands change, and change is never easy. You can't wish for easy if you truly want success. The road to greatness is filled with obstacles because each obstacle carries a lesson. The sleepless nights teach you discipline. The failures teach you humility. The loneliness teaches you self-reliance. The rejection teaches you patience. Every experience is shaping you. You don't become extraordinary by avoiding pain. You become extraordinary by using it. Easy is an illusion. Even the people who look like they have it easy are fighting battles you can't see. Everyone goes through something. The difference is how they respond. Weak people run from growth because it's uncomfortable. Strong people embrace it because they know it's necessary. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you become through it. You can let hardship harden you or heal you. Growth is choosing healing. It's choosing progress even when it hurts. There's a reason why the gym hurts before you get stronger. There's a reason why muscles ache after a workout. Growth requires resistance. The more resistance you face, the stronger you get. Life works the same way. The challenges you face are your life's workout plan. Every time you overcome one, you become stronger, more confident, and more prepared for the next. So don't wish the weights away. Lift them. Don't wish the pain away. Use it. Every rep of struggle is building your power. When you change your wish from easy to growth, your mindset shifts completely. You stop fearing failure. You stop dreading problems. You start seeing every situation as an opportunity to evolve. You begin to understand that success isn't about avoiding pain. It's about mastering it. You start valuing the lessons more than the comfort. And that's when you become unstoppable. Because no matter what life throws at you, you know it's only there to make you better. Growth also requires humility. You have to admit you don't know everything. You have to be willing to be a beginner again, to fail, to learn, and to try again. Pride keeps people stuck. Humility keeps people growing. The moment you think you've arrived, your growth stops. But when you stay hungry to learn, to improve, to evolve, you keep rising. Life rewards those who never stop learning, who never stop stretching, who never stop becoming more than they were yesterday. It's not easy to wish for growth. It means choosing the harder road, the one less traveled, the one full of uncertainty. But that's the only road that leads to greatness. The easy road leads to regret. The hard road leads to fulfillment. You have to decide which pain you'd rather live with, the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment. Growth may hurt now, but it saves you from the pain of mediocrity later. Every successful person you admire once stood at the crossroad between easy and growth. They chose growth. They chose growth. They chose the harder path, the path that challenged them to become more. And because of that, they built lives full of meaning and impact. If you want the same, you have to make the same choice. Don't wish for life to get easier. Wish for the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to grow through it. So the next time life gets tough, don't ask for comfort. Ask for capacity. Don't ask the storm to pass. Ask for the ability to dance in the rain. Don't ask for the mountain to move. Ask for the strength to climb it. Because it's not about making life easy. It's about making yourself unstoppable. Growth is what gives you that power. Growth is what turns pain into purpose and struggle into success. The truth is, easy won't change you. Growth will. Easy won't make you better. Growth will. Easy won't take you to your destiny. Growth will. Every time you face something hard, remember, this is your growth moment. This is where you evolve. This is where you become who you were meant to be. So don't wish for easy, wish for growth. Because the world doesn't need another person who had it easy. The world needs people who grew through the fire, who stood tall in the storm, and who used their pain to create purpose. Be that person. Let growth be your goal. Let evolution be your mission. Let every challenge shape you into the strongest version of yourself. Because when you choose growth over easy, you don't just survive life, you master it. Failure is not the end, it's the lesson. Every time you fail, life is trying to teach you something. But most people don't understand that. They think failure means they're not good enough, that their dream isn't meant to happen, or that life is against them. But failure isn't your enemy. It's your instructor. It's the mirror that reflects your weaknesses, the test that reveals your gap, and the opportunity that helps you grow stronger. Every great person you admire has failed. Not once, not twice, but countless times. They learned, they adjusted, and they kept moving forward. That's why they succeeded. Failure is not the end, because the end only comes when you quit. The moment you give up, that's when the story stops. But as long as you're learning, as long as you're improving, as long as you're still in the fight, failure is just another step in the process. It's not final, it's formative, it's shaping you into who you need to become to handle the success that's waiting on the other side. You see, failure hurts because it challenges your ego. It exposes your mistakes. It shows you that you're human, that you're not perfect. But that's exactly what you need. You can't grow if you always get it right. You can't learn if you never make a mistake. The only way to become great at something is to first be bad at it. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once clumsy, lost, and unsure. Failure is the process of becoming. The world tries to shame. People mock others when they fall, but they don't realize that every person who succeeded has walked through the same valley. The difference is that successful people don't let failure define them. They let it refine them. They take the loss, study it, learn from it, and use it as fuel. They don't cry over the fall. They use it as a reason to climb higher. Failure is feedback. It's life's way of saying, try again, but do it differently. When you fail, don't take it personally. Take it professionally. Study it. Ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What can I do better next time? What did this experience teach me about myself? That's how you grow. That's how you turn pain into progress. The problem is, most people don't want to face failure because they're addicted to approval. They care too much about what others will say. They'd rather stay in their comfort zone and look successful than take risks and actually grow. But growth doesn't happen without failure. You can't build resilience in theory. You can't learn courage without falling and getting back up. You can't develop wisdom without making mistakes. You can't master life without first failing. She say, when you fail, it doesn't mean you're done. It means you're learning something you couldn't have learned any other way. Think about it. When you succeed, you celebrate, but you don't analyze. When you fail, you stop and reflect. That's where the wisdom comes in. That's where you begin to understand what works and what doesn't. Failure gives you information that success can. It teaches you about timing, patience, focus, and discipline. It reveals your blind spots and sharpens your instincts. Every setback carries a seed of wisdom, but you only find it if you're willing to look. Some people let failure make them bitter. Others let it make them better. It's not the failure that determines your future. It's your response. You can cry, complain, or quit, or you can rise, reflect, and refine. The choice is yours. Remember, success doesn't come from never failing. It comes from never giving up. The difference between people who make it and people who don't is simple. One group learns from failure, the other runs from it. When you run from failure, you also run from growth. You avoid pain, but you also avoid potential. When you face failure head on, you open yourself up to the lessons that will elevate you. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. It's a stepping stone, not a dead end. Every failure brings you closer to victory because it eliminates one wrong way of doing things. Then it narrows your focus. It teaches you precision. It humbles you and grounds you. You start understanding that success isn't about luck. It's about persistence, patience, and perseverance. You can't be afraid to fail. You can't be scared of looking foolish. The people who laugh at your failures will be the same ones clapping for you later when your lessons turn into success. So don't fear failure. Fear stagnation. Fear being in the same place next year because you were too afraid to try. Fear wasting your potential because you cared too much about being comfortable. Failure is the bridge between potential and performance. It's where your ideas get tested, where your dreams meet reality, where your character gets built, You learn more from failure than you ever will from success, because success makes you comfortable. But failure keeps you hungry. It reminds you that you have more to learn, more to give, more to prove. Look at the most successful people in the world. They failed more than most people ever tried. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked how it felt to fail so many times, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's how you have to see your journey. Every failure is just a step toward your breakthrough. You have to develop a mindset that welcomes failure, not fears it. Because when you welcome it, it loses its power over you. Failure only has power when you run from it, but when you face it, study it, and learn from it, it becomes your greatest ally. It becomes your guide. It shows you the path to mastery. When you fail, don't focus on what you lost, focus on what you gained. Wisdom, experience, and insight. Those are the true rewards of failure. Every failure refines your vision. It helps you understand yourself better. What drives you, what scares you, what you truly want. It strips away illusions and reveals the truth. And when you live in truth, you move with clarity and strength. The reason failure breaks so many people is because they attach their identity to the outcome. So I am a failure. But that's wrong. You are not your result. You are effort, your growth, your commitment. Failure is something you experience, not something you are. You can fail 1,000 times and still be a winner, as long as you refuse to stop learning. When you understand that failure is the lesson, you start seeing life differently. You stop asking for success to come quickly. You start valuing the process. You begin to enjoy the grind because you know every mistake is taking you closer to mastery. You learn to be patient, to trust the timing, to believe that the lessons you're learning now are preparing you for something bigger than what you can see. Failure also builds empathy. When you fail, you understand others better. You stop judging people who are struggling because you've been there. You develop compassion, humility, and emotional strength. You learn how to encourage others because you know what it feels like to fall and get back up. That's why failure isn't just good for you. It's good for the people around you. It shapes you into a leader, someone who can lift others because you know what it takes to ride. It's easy to look confident when you're winning, but real confidence is born from surviving failure. It's born from knowing you've been through the fire and made it out stronger. When you failed and bounced back, nothing can shake you. You stop fearing challenges because you've already faced the work and found your way through it. That's unshakable confidence, and it only comes from failure. It only comes from failure. So stop running from failure. Stop letting it define your worth. Stop letting it dictate your future. Failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest mentor. Listen to it. Learn from it. Let it stretch you. Because one day, the lessons you learned in failure will become the wisdom that leads you to success. And when you finally win, when dream comes true, when the breakthrough happens, you'll appreciate it so much more because you know what it costs. You'll realize that the failures weren't detours, they were directions. They were guiding you exactly where you needed to go. So if you fail, good. That means you're trying. That means you're brave. That means you're alive. Keep going, keep learning, keep growing. Because failure is not the end, it's the beginning of your greatness. It's not the final chapter, it's the page that turns your story into something powerful. Every failure has a lesson. Every lesson has value. And every time you rise again, you prove that you are unstoppable. When you face failure, it feels like the ground beneath your feet has disappeared. It hits you like a storm, unexpected and painful. But the truth is, failure is not the end. It's a part of the process. It's the teacher that life assigns to you when success is not ready to meet you yet. Most people see failure as a sign to quit, but those who win in life see it as a sign to grow, to learn, and to evolve. Failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally if you learn how to use it. Every champion, every successful person, every leader, they've all tasted failure before tasting victory. They didn't become strong because everything went right. They became strong because everything went wrong, but they refused to give up. When you fail, you have two choices. Either you let it break you or you let it build you. You can sit in your pain, feel sorry for yourself, and believe that life is unfair. Or you can stand up, wipe your tears, and say, this is not the end of my story. Failure is not found unless you quit. You only lose when you stop trying. The people who succeed in this world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never stop getting back up. It's the comeback that defines greatness, not the fall. Think about it. Every time you fail, you gain something priceless. Experience. You gain insight into what doesn't work, clarity about what needs to change, and wisdom about yourself. You start to understand your limits, your habits, and your mindset. Failure is like a mirror. It reflects who you are and who you need to become. It strips away ego and comfort, leaving behind the raw truth. And that truth, though painful, is necessary for growth. If you never fail, you never grow. If everything came easy, you never learn resilience. Life becomes meaningful only when you face setbacks and rise again stronger than before. The problem with most people is that they want success without scars. They want victory without the struggle. But that's not how life works. You can't build strength without resistance. You can't learn perseverance without facing obstacles. When you go to the gym, your muscles grow because they're pushed to the point of failure. The same rule applies in life. Every time you face failure, it's like lifting emotional and mental weights. You're becoming tougher, wiser, and more disciplined. You're being shaped into someone who can handle the blessings that success brings. Because let's be honest, if you can't handle failure, how can you handle success? Success requires a mindset that doesn't crumble under pressure. It requires a spirit that says, no matter how many times I fall, I'm going to rise again. That's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. The ones who make it use failure as fuel. They take the pain, the disappointment, the heartbreak, and they turn it into motivation. They learn, they adapt, they improve. They don't let failure define them. They let it refine them. But to reach that level of understanding, you gotta change your relationship with failure. Stop running from it. Stop being afraid of it. Stop letting it control your emotions. Embrace it. Embrace it. Look it in the face and say, you're here to teach me something. Because when you learn how to handle failure, you become unstoppable. It no longer has power over you. You stop seeing it as the end and start seeing it as feedback. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. You see, life is testing you. It's asking you, hey, how bad do you want it? You said you wanted success. You said you wanted to be great, but do you really mean it? Because if you mean it, then failure won't make you quit. It'll make you grind harder. It'll make you hungrier. The test of a true champion isn't how they act when everything is going right. It's how they respond when everything goes wrong. Anybody can smile when life is good, but can you stay focused when life gets hard? Can you stay disciplined when doors close in your face? Can you keep going when people doubt you when you fail again and again? That's what separates the average from the elite. Eric Thomas always says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. But that kind of hunger doesn't come without pain. You got to be willing to go through the fire. You got to be willing to fail again and again and still keep your eyes on the prize. You've got to turn your pain into purpose and your failures into lessons. That's how you grow. That's how you win. When you fail, don't hide from it. Analyze it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do better? Failure gives you the blueprint for success if you're humble enough to learn. Every failure is a clue about what needs to change, what needs more work, what needs more patience. The difference between success and failure often comes down to who learns faster. The faster you learn from your failures, the faster you rise. And don't let other people's opinions stop you. Some people will laugh when you fall. Some will judge you, criticize you, and call you a failure. But remember this, their laughter doesn't define your future. Their opinions don't decide your destiny. The only voice that matters is the one inside you that says, I will not quit. Every successful person has been laughed at, doubted, and told they'd never make it. But they didn't listen. They believed in themselves when nobody else did. That's what failure teaches you, to depend on yourself, to trust your vision, and to keep pushing even when no one's watching. Failure builds character. It builds humility. It teaches you that success isn't about talent or luck. It's about persistence. Some of the greatest people in history failed multiple times before they made it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired for a lack of imagination. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Each of them could have quit. Each of them could have said, it's too hard. But they did. They turned their failures into foundations for success. That's the mindset you need. You've got to understand that every failure is just a step closer to your goal. It's not a step back, it's a step forward. If you learn from it, you're not starting over, you're starting smarter. Every mistake sharpens your skills, strengthens your mindset, and prepares you for the next opportunity. So the next time you fail, don't get discouraged, don't lose hope. Instead, say to yourself, this is just part of the journey. Remind yourself that diamonds are made under pressure and gold is purified in fire. Your struggles, your failure, they're shaping you into something stronger, something better. Keep going, keep believing. Because one day all those failures will make sense. You'll look back and realize that every setback was preparing you for your breakthrough. Life is not easy, it's hard. But failure doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're brave enough to try. It means you have the courage to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, to chase something bigger than yourself. Don't run from failure. Respect it. Learn from me. Let it mold you into the person you were meant to become. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you rise. That's what makes you unstoppable. That's what makes you great. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. You can have dream, you can have passion, you can have talent, but without discipline, none of it matters. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation runs out. It's what separates those who wish from those who win. See, motivation can get started, but discipline keeps you consistent. Life doesn't reward those who start strong. It rewards those who stay strong day after day, even when nobody's watching. Discipline is the silent force that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It's waking up early when you don't feel like it. It's staying focused when distractions come. It's choosing growth over comfort. When Eric Thomas talks about success, he doesn't talk about luck. He talks about habits, routines, and discipline. Because discipline is not something you do sometimes. It's something you live by. It's a lifestyle. When you decide to be disciplined, you're telling yourself that your goals matter more than your feeling. You're saying, I will not let my emotions dictate my actions. And that's what champions do. They show up whether they feel like it or not. They understand that greatness is not built on convenience. It's built on consistency. Discipline means doing the right thing, especially when it's hard. It means sticking to your values and your commitments no matter the circumstances. Think about it. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to do what winners do. Winners sacrifice. Winners commit. Winners train when others sleep. They don't need applause. They don't need motivation. Their discipline is their motivation. They build such strong habits that quitting isn't even an option. Discipline is what builds trust within yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and you actually do it, you're proving to yourself that you can rely on you. That builds confidence. But every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken that trust. You tell yourself subconsciously, I can't depend on me. And that's why discipline isn't just about your actions. It's about your identity. It's about becoming the kind of person who follows through, who stands firm, who keeps going no matter how tough things get. People often ask, how do I stay disciplined? The truth is, discipline doesn't come from feeling, it comes from purpose. You've got to know why you're doing what you're doing. When your purpose is strong, discipline becomes natural. If you're working towards something that truly matters to you, you'll find a way to stay consistent. You won't need to be pushed. You'll push yourself. But if your goals are weak, if your vision isn't clear, then every obstacle will feel like a reason to quit. So before you seek discipline, find your purpose. Know what drives you. Know what drives you. Know what keeps you awake at night. Discipline also requires structure. You can't live without order and expect success. You gotta plan your days, manage your time, and create an environment that supports your goals. Discipline isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things consistently. Focus on what truly matters and cut out the distractions. Social media, negativity, laziness, all these are traps that pull you away from your dreams. If you want to be disciplined, you've got to protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Discipline is painful. It means saying no when you want to say yes. It means missing out on comfort, entertainment, and instant gratification. It's waking up before the sun, Studying when your friends are partying is saving money when others are spending. But that pain is temporary. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. You can either suffer the pain of discipline now or suffer the pain of regret later. The choice is yours. The most powerful part about discipline is that it compounds. The small actions you take every day, waking up early, eating right, training, studying, working, they don't show results immediately, but over time they add up. Discipline is like a seed. You plant it every day, water it with effort, and eventually it grows into something powerful. One day you'll look back and realize that every small act of discipline built the life you're living. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of thousands of disciplined days. When you're disciplined, you don't chase perfection. You chase progress. You understand that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. You don't let one bad day ruin your focus. You don't quit because you made a mistake. Discipline isn't about being flawless. It's about staying committed through the flaws. It's about getting back on track when you fall. It's about choosing growth over guilt. And let's be real, discipline will test you. There will be days when you're tired, when you feel like you've given everything you got, when nothing seems to work. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when your discipline must speak louder than your doubts. Anybody can be disciplined when things are easy, but the real strength of discipline shows when life gets hard. When you're struggling, when nobody's clapping, when progress feels invisible, that's when you got to keep showing up. Eric Thomas often says, you owe you. That's what discipline is, paying your debt to yourself. You owe yourself your best effort. You owe yourself consistency. You owe yourself the life you've been dreaming about. And nobody can give it to you but you. Discipline is personal. It's between you and you. You can't fake it. You can't borrow it. You can't buy it. You earn it every single day through your actions. Discipline also teaches you humility. It reminds you that success is not a one-time achievement. It's a continuous process. You can't work hard for a few weeks and expect lifetime results. You've got to stay hungry, stay focused, and stay grounded. The moment you relax, the moment you stop pushing, you start losing momentum. Discipline is what keeps your fire alive when others burn out. And the beauty of discipline is that it doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you are. It builds character, strength, and confidence. It teaches you patience, endurance, and self-control. It turns you into someone who doesn't depend on motivation or circumstance to perform. You become reliable, resilient, and unstoppable. You stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. The truth is, discipline is freedom. Most people think discipline is restriction, but it's the opposite. Discipline gives you control over your life. It gives you the freedom to achieve your goals, to live with purpose, to be proud of who you are. Undisciplined people are slaves to their emotions and impulses. Disciplined people are masters of their destiny. When you control your habits, you control your life. So if you want to change your life, start by mastering your discipline. Start small. Wake up early. Keep your promises. Finish what you start. Push yourself a little harder every day. Build momentum. Over time, those small wins will turn into big victories. Don't wait for motivation. Create discipline, because discipline will always take you places that motivation never could. At the end of the day, life is not easy. It's hard. But discipline is what makes it manageable. It gives structure to your chaos, strength to your struggle, and direction to your dreams. Without discipline, you'll drift. With it, you'll conquer. So don't just wish for success, train for it. Don't just talk about your dreams. Work for them daily. And remember this, you don't need to be the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest. You just need to be the most disciplined. Because in the end, discipline always wins. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. Most people run from it, hide from it, or numb themselves so they don't have to feel it. But the truth is, pain has a purpose. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to develop you. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every setback you face carries a lesson inside it, a lesson that no book or classroom can ever teach. Pain shapes you, molds you, and transforms you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Without pain, you never grow. Without struggle, you never find your true strength. You can't discover who you are until life tests you. When Eric Thomas speaks about greatness, he doesn't talk about comfort. He talks about pain. He says you got to embrace the pain to get the gain. Because everything worth having comes with a cost. If you want success, you got to be willing to suffer for it. If you want growth, you got to go through discomfort. There's no shortcut. Pain is the price of progress. The question isn't whether you'll experience pain. The question is what you'll do with it. Will you let it break you or will you let it build you? Pain will test your patience, your faith, and your determination. It will make you question your path, your purpose, even your worth. You'll feel like giving up, like nothing you do matters. But in those dark moments, that's where transformation happens. It strips away your weaknesses. It exposes your fears, your insecurities, and your excuses. It pushes you to confront the parts of yourself you rather ignore. It forces you to dig deep, to find strength you didn't know existed. Without pain, you stay the same. Pain is the catalyst for change. Think about it. When do people truly grow? It's rarely when life is easy. You grow when you're pushed to your limits, when you're forced to adapt, when you face challenges that scare you. Pain pushes you out of your comfort zone and into your potential. It's through suffering that you develop endurance, resilience, and empathy. Every painful experience carries a message, if you're willing to listen. But the truth is, most people don't want to listen to pain. They avoid it. They seek comfort and distraction. They want the reward without the struggle, the success without the sacrifice. But that's not how life works. The path to greatness always goes through pain. Look at anyone who has achieved something extraordinary. They didn't get there without suffering. Athletes train through exhaustion. Entrepreneurs risk failure after failure. Artists face rejection again and again. Pain is the toll you pay for mastery. So no, it's the fire that forges greatness. When you're in pain, it's easy to think that something's wrong. But sometimes pain is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're on the right one. Growth hurts. Change hurts. Discipline hurts. But that pain means you're evolving. You're stretching beyond your limits. You're becoming someone new. Pain is proof that you're alive, that you're fighting for something that matters. Eric Thomas often says, don't cry to quit, cry to keep going. That means your tears don't have to represent weakness. They can represent strength. Cry if you need to, but don't stop moving. Pain can either paralyze you or propel you. The choice is yours. If you can endure pain without losing focus, if you can push through the discomfort, you'll become unstoppable. Because once you've gone through enough pain and survived it, nothing scares you anymore. You start to realize that pain doesn't last forever, but the lessons it teaches do. You gotta learn how to turn your pain into power. Don't waste it. Use it. Use it as motivation. Let it remind you why you started. Let it fuel your grind. Every time you feel pain, tell yourself, this is making me stronger. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That small shift in mindset can change your entire life. Because pain is never pointless. It always serves a purpose. Sometimes pain is what wakes you up. It's what reminds you that you were meant for more. It's what pushes you out of mediocrity. When everything's comfortable, you settle. But when pain enters your life, you start moving. You start fighting. You start searching for meaning. Pain forces you to evolve or stay broken. And when you choose to evolve, you rise. That's how winners are made. They don't avoid pain. They transform it. You can't control when pain comes, but you can control how you respond. You can respond with anger, bitterness, and self-pity, or you can respond with strength, patience, and gratitude. Gratitude? Yes, gratitude. Because if you look closely, every painful experience has hidden blessings. Maybe it made you tougher. Maybe it helped you see who your real friends are. Maybe it pushed you to work harder or think differently. Pain often redirects you towards your purpose. It closes one door so you can walk through another. And remember this, pain doesn't just test your body. It tests your heart. It tests your faith. When life gets tough, it's easy to doubt yourself, to doubt God, to doubt the process. But that's when you gotta hold on the tightest. That's when your character is built. Faith doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in struggle. When everything falls apart and you still keep believing, that's when you truly become strong. When you face pain, don't just survive it, study it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? That's how you transform suffering into strength. That's how you turn pain into wisdom. Every time you go through something difficult and come out stronger, you build emotional muscle. You become more patient, more grounded, more resilient. Pain teaches you compassion because once you've been through deep pain, you understand others who are suffering. You become kinder, more humble, more real. And here's the thing, pain doesn't mean punishment. Sometimes you didn't do anything wrong. Life just happens. Challenges come. But those challenges are opportunities to rise. Every struggle you survive becomes a story that can inspire someone else. Every wound you heal becomes a testimony of strength. Pain connects people because we all experience it. The difference is how we use it. Some people let pain define them. Others let it refine them. When you're in pain, remind yourself, this moment is temporary. The darkness will pass. The storm will end. You just have to endure it. You've got to hold on even when it hurts because something beautiful is waiting on the other side. Flowers don't bloom without rain. Diamonds aren't made without pressure, and you won't reach your potential without pain. Life is not easy. It's hard, but pain gives it depth. Pain gives it meaning. Without it, we never appreciate joy. We never value peace. We never know gratitude. We never know gratitude. Pain makes you human. It makes you real. It makes you stronger than you ever imagined. So don't run from it. Don't numb it. Face it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Because one day you'll look back and realize that the very pain that once broke you actually built you. And when that day comes, you'll understand that pain wasn't your enemy. It was your guide. It was your trainer. It was your greatest teacher. Every tear, every heartbreak, every disappointment was shaping you for the life you were meant to live. Pain taught you discipline. Pain taught you faith. Taught you how to stand tall when everything around you was falling apart. It taught you how to fight, how to believe, how to endure. So the next time pain knocks on your door, don't fear it. Welcome it. Tell yourself, oh, this is part of my journey. Because pain is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're still in the fight. And as long as you're fighting, you're growing. As long as you're growing, you're winning. Remember, you can't have greatness without struggle. You can't have strength without pain. The fire that burns you today will forge you tomorrow. Embrace it, endure it, and let it make you unstoppable. Success requires patience, and that's one of the hardest lessons you'll ever learn in life. In a world that worships speed, everyone wants things now. People want quick results, instant rewards, and overnight success. But that's not how life works. Growth takes time. Success is a process, not an event. It's not something that happens in a week, a month, or even a year. It's something you build brick by brick, day after day, with discipline, faith, and perseverance. The problem is most people quit before they see results because they can't handle the waiting. They can't handle the grind. They want the glory, but not the growth. But the truth is, the waiting season is the making season. That's where your character, your mindset, and your strength are developed. When Eric Thomas says, you've got to trust the process, he means that real success doesn't come to the impatient. You can't rush greatness. You can't skip step. You can't harvest before you plant. Life doesn't work that way. Everything valuable takes time to build. Just like a seed needs time to grow into a tree, your dreams need time to grow into reality. You can't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing. You've got to water it, protect it, and trust that eventually it will sprout. But most people lose faith during the process because they don't see progress. They think silence means nothing's happening. But sometimes the most powerful growth happens in silence. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means staying committed even when you can't see the outcome. It means working hard, staying focused and believing even when there's no visible proof that your effort is paying off. That's what separates the winners from the quitters. The winners are willing to wait, but they don't wait passively. They wait while working. They keep grinding, keep improving, keep pushing forward. They understand that success isn't about speed. It's about consistency. Patience builds strength. It builds maturity. It teaches you self-control. When you learn to wait, you learn to appreciate the journey instead of just the destination. You start to understand that the process is just as important as the prize because the process prepares you for what you're asking for. If success came too soon, it would crush you. You wouldn't be ready for it. You wouldn't have the character to handle it. The delay isn't denied. It's development. Life makes you wait so that when you finally get what you've been working for, you can sustain it. Look at any great person, an athlete, an entrepreneur, a leader. None of them became successful overnight. They went through seasons of waiting, working, and believing. They failed, they struggled, they doubted, but they kept going. They trusted the process even when they couldn't see the finish line. Because patience isn't about time, it's about trust. It's about believing that everything you're doing now will pay off later. When you're patient, you learn to enjoy the grind. You stop chasing shortcuts. You stop comparing your journey to others because you understand that everyone's timeline is different. Some people take longer to bloom, and that's okay. You're not behind. You're being prepared. Every delay, every setback, every moment of waiting is shaping you. It's building your endurance, your wisdom, your humility. If you rush the process, you miss the lesson. And those lessons are what make you strong enough to stay at the top when you finally get there. Patience also protects your peace. Impatience creates anxiety. It makes you restless, frustrated, and careless. You start forcing things that aren't meant to happen yet. You start chasing opportunities that don't align with your purpose. But when you're patient, you move with confidence. You know that what's meant for you won't pass you by. You stop panicking and start preparing. You focus on becoming better, not just getting faster results. Success is like cooking. You can't microwave greatness. It needs time to simmer, to absorb, to develop flavor. If you rush it, you ruin it. The same goes for life. Every dream has a timing attached to it, and you can't control that timing. You can only control your effort, your attitude, and your faith. Patience means doing your best today and trusting that the right doors will open tomorrow. Eric Thomas often says, don't give up just because it's taking time. Great things take time, and that's the truth. Some of you are closer than you think. You're just in the waiting phase. The pain you're feeling, the frustration, the exhaustion, it's all part of the process. Don't let temporary emotions make you quit on a permanent dream. The moment you're about to give up is often the moment just before things start to change. Patience also builds gratitude. When you work for something for a long time, you appreciate it more. You value it because you know what it costs you. Instant success often fades because people don't value what they didn't earn. But when you fought for it, when you sacrificed, when you waited, you protect it, you nurture it, you respect it. That's the beauty of patience. It doesn't just give you the reward, it gives you the appreciation for the reward. But let's be honest, patience hurts. It's hard to wait. It's hard to keep believing when you're not seeing results. It's hard to wake up every day and work towards something that still feels far away. But that's exactly why it's powerful. It builds a kind of mental toughness that can't be broken. Patience trains your mind to stay calm in chaos, to stay focused when things don't make sense, and to keep faith when nothing is working. That's the kind of strength that will carry you through anything in life. When you feel like time is passing and nothing is happening, remind yourself that growth is invisible at first. Think about a bamboo tree. For years, it doesn't break through the ground, even though it's being watered daily. But once it finally breaks through, it grows over 80 feet tall in just weeks. The reason it can grow so fast is because it spent years developing its roots underground. You are that bamboo tree. Your roots are growing. Your foundation is being built. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Patience is also a sign of faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your dream, and faith in the process. When you stop rushing, you stop rusting. You understand that everything is unfolding exactly how it's supposed to. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start saying, I'm preparing for when it does happen. Because that's what patience is. Preparation. Every day you stay consistent. Every day you improve, you're getting closer. Impatience kills dreams. It makes people quit too soon. How many people gave up one step before success? How many walked away right before the breakthrough? Don't be one of them. Keep going. Keep trusting. You've already come this far. Don't stop now. Stop now. The waiting may be painful, but the reward will be worth it. They didn't understand this. Patience doesn't mean you don't act. It means you act with purpose. You stay consistent without trying to control everything. You let things unfold naturally. You don't chase. You attract through preparation. You don't beg. You build. You don't panic. You plan. You don't pan. You keep working in silence until your time comes, and when it does, you'll be ready. Life is not easy. It's hard. But patience makes it bearable. It gives you the strength to endure, the wisdom to wait, and the courage to keep believing. Every great story includes a season of waiting. Waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the breakthrough, waiting for the right time. Don't despise that season. It's where you grow the most. So when you're tired of waiting, remember this. Time is your ally, not your enemy. Every day you stay committed, you're getting closer. Every challenge you overcome is preparing you for the next level. Don't rush the process. Don't quit the journey. Stay patient. Stay faithful. Because in the end, patience always pays off. The dream that takes time is the dream that lasts forever. What's hard today will one day become the story that inspires millions, but most people don't see that when they're in the middle of it. When you're going through pain, when you're fighting battles that nobody sees, when you're crying yourself to sleep, you don't think about legacy. You're just trying to survive. But every hardship you go through is carving something deep inside you, something eternal. Life doesn't give you easy chapters when it's preparing you to write an unforgettable story. It's the rough pages, the torn moments, the scars. That's what builds legacy. You don't get remembered for what was easy. You get remembered for what you endured, what you overcame, and how you refused to quit when everything said you should. Hardship builds legacy because it forces you to become something greater than what you were. You don't find your real strength when everything's going right. You find it when the world turns its back on you. When you got no one to call, no one to lean on, and all you got left is faith, grit, and a little bit of fight. That's where legacy begins. In the struggle nobody sees. It's the nights you spend working when everyone else is asleep. It's the tears you hide behind a smile. It's the moments when you keep going even when you feel empty. Legacy isn't about fame, money, or followers. It's about the impact you leave behind when you're gone. It's about who you became through the pain. See, people don't follow comfort. They follow courage. They don't remember the one who had it easy. They remember the one who kept standing when life knocked them down. The people who changed the world are the ones who didn't run from hardship, didn't run from hardship. They ran through it. They faced it head on, and they came out stronger. Every struggle you face is a chance to build a foundation for something bigger than yourself. Every rejection, every loss, every heartbreak is part of the structure of your legacy. You may not see it now, but one day someone will look at your life and say, if they can make it through that, I can make it too. That's legacy. That's why you can't quit. Because quitting doesn't just take away your victory, it erases your impact. Somebody out there needs to see you win, needs to see you rise, needs to see you endure. When life throws you into a storm, don't ask, oh, why me? Ask, oh, what is this teaching me? Because storms don't destroy strong people. They shape them. They refine your character. They humble your pride. They expose what's real and remove what's fake. You learn who you are when everything you thought you needed gets stripped away. And when you come out on the other side, you realize the pain didn't break you, it built you. The hardship wasn't there to crush you. It was there to mold you into the person who could handle your purpose. Think about every legend, every leader, every hero you admire. None of them had it easy. They all suffered, they all failed, they all fell down. But what made them great wasn't their talent, it wasn't their background, it was their endurance. They didn't give up when it got hard. They didn't let pain stop them. They used it. They turned their suffering into fuel. And because of that, their names live on. You have the same potential, the same fire, but it's only unlocked through adversity. Easy season won't reveal your greatness. Only struggle can do that. Only hardship can birth legacy. You don't get diamonds without pressure. You don't get strength without struggle. You don't get legacy without pain. So the next time you face something that feels unbearable, remember, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Every trial is preparing you for something you can't see yet. Maybe right now you're fighting through loss, through failure, through heartbreak. Maybe you feel forgotten like life passed you by. The season is shaping you for something greater. God doesn't waste pain. Every scar will one day tell a story. Your legacy is being written in the dark. The world will see the glory, but they won't see the grind. They'll clap for your success, but they'll never know the nights you almost quit. That's why hardship is sacred. It's the hidden part of greatness. It's the soil that gives birth to destiny. You can't grow in comfort, you grow in challenge. You can't build legacy in luxury. You build in labor. Stop asking for an easy life. Start asking for a meaningful one. Because easy lives don't leave footprints that last. Only those who endure hardship make a mark that can't be erased. Every generation needs examples of perseverance. You have the opportunity to become one. You have the power to turn your pain into purpose, your struggle into strength, your story into a symbol of hope. Hardship doesn't mean you're cursed. It means you're chosen. You're chosen to lead, to inspire, to show others what resilience looks like. When you face adversity, remember that you're being trusted with a testimony. What you survive will become someone else's survival guide. Your pain will become someone else's peace. Your scars will give someone else strength. That's how legacy works. It multiplies through impact. Every time you get up after being knocked down, you're writing another chapter. Every time you refuse to quit, you're adding another page to your story. Don't rush the process. Don't run from the pressure. Embrace it. Let it shape you into the kind of person who doesn't just live life, but leave something behind. Because in the end, the goal isn't just to succeed. It's to leave a legacy that speaks long after you're gone. People will forget your words. They'll forget your possession, but they'll never forget your perseverance. They'll never forget how you made them believe they can make it too. So keep pushing, keep fighting, keep believing even when it's hard. Because the hardship you're enduring right now, that's your foundation for greatness. That's your story in the making. That's your legacy under construction. One day, someone will say your name and think of strength. They'll think of resilience. Shut up as the resilient. They'll think of someone who didn't fold under pressure. And all of it, the tears, the pain, the sleepless nights, it'll make sense. It'll all be worth it. Because legacy isn't built in the easy moments. It's built in the hard ones. And yours is being built right now. So don't stop. Don't give in. Endure the hardship. Because hardship builds legacy and legacy lasts forever. Life is not easy. It's hard. But that's the beauty of it. Every trial, every sleepless night, every heartbreak you've endured wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal who you are. You walked through storms that others couldn't survive. You've been through pain that others would have quit over. And yet you're still standing. That alone is proof that you're built for more. You were never meant to live an average life, to walk an easy road, or to settle for comfort. You were made to rise, to overcome, and to leave a mark that will outlast your existence. The truth is, life's greatest lessons are not learned in comfort, but in chaos. You don't find yourself when things are going well. You find yourself when life is falling apart. It's in those moments of pressure that your true character comes out. It's in those moments of confusion that you learn clarity. And it's in those moments of pain that you find purpose. You can't grow in the light without first being tested in the dark. Every setback, every delay, every disappointment was training ground for something greater. You may not have seen it then, but every obstacle was shaping the person you needed to become. Life will always have its difficulties. That's never going to change. But you have the power to decide how you respond to them. You can either let hardship harden your heart, or you can let it refine your spirit. You can let pain make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let rejection break your confidence, or you can use it as fuel to rise stronger. Every single day you wake up, you're given a choice. Stay where you are, or keep pushing forward. And no matter how hard life gets, as long as you keep pushing, you're winning. Because progress, no matter how small, is still progress. You see, life doesn't reward the comfortable. It rewards the committed. The ones who show up even when they don't feel like it. The ones who keep grinding when nobody's watching. The ones who believe in their dream, even when everything around them screams, quit. That's what separates the winners from the quitters. Consistency through adversity. Success doesn't come overnight, and it doesn't come without pain. It comes to those who are willing to pay the price, to sacrifice comfort for purpose, to keep going long after others have stopped. You might feel like giving up right now. You might feel like your dream is taking too long, like you tried everything and nothing's working. But hear me, every person who ever achieved greatness stood exactly where you are. They faced doubt, they faced delay, they faced pain, but they made one decision: not to stop, not to settle, not to let life win. And because of that, they changed their future. You have that same power inside you, the same strength, the same fire, the same will to win. You just have to use it. Don't let fear convince you that you're not capable. Don't let failure convince you that it's over. Don't let the opinions of others silence your purpose. You have something inside of you that the world needs. You have a gift, a story, a voice that can change lives, but it won't happen if you give up when it gets hard. It won't happen if you choose comfort over calling. Life is tough, but so are you. And every time you refuse to quit, you're proving that. When life knocks you down, get up with purpose. When the world says you can't, say, watch me. When the pain feels unbearable, remind yourself that diamonds are made under pressure. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're being refined, sharpened, strengthened. You're being molded into the version of yourself that can handle everything you prayed for. So don't let this season of struggle make you forget where you're headed. You're not stuck. You're growing. You're not failing. You're learning. You're not breaking. You're becoming. The reason life is hard is because greatness requires resistance. Just like muscles grow by lifting heavy weight, your character grows by facing heavy challenges. And when it's all said and done, the pain you're feeling right now will be the reason you're strong tomorrow. Every scar will tell a story. Every tear will be a reminder of what you overcame. And one day you'll look back at this very moment and thank life for not being easy. Because if it was, you'd have never become who you are. Don't live your life wishing it was easier. Live your life getting stronger. Don't wish for smaller problems. Work for greater strength. Because the people who change the world are not those who avoid the fight. They're the ones who stand tall in. You can't live with purpose if you're running from pressure. And you can't build legacy if you're afraid of the process. Your purpose is on the other side of pain, and your legacy is being written right now through your endurance. So keep pushing, keep grinding, keep believing, because the pain you feel today will one day be your testimony. The same mountain you're climbing will become your platform. The same storm that tried to drown you will become the reason others learn to swim. Don't give up halfway through your story. You've come too far to quit now. You fought too hard, cried too long, and sacrificed too much to walk away empty-handed. You owe it to yourself to finish strong. You owe it to your dream to keep fighting. You owe it to the people who believe in you, who look up to you, who are waiting to be inspired by your comeback. Because your story doesn't end in pain. It begins there. Every legend was once a fighter. Every winner was once a warrior in the dark. And every great story starts with struggle. So embrace it. Honor it. Use it. Let it fuel you until you rise above everything that was meant to break you. In the end, life will never be easy. And that's okay. Because it's not supposed to be. Easy doesn't make you proud. Easy doesn't make you strong. Easy doesn't make you legendary. What makes you great is the journey, the endurance, the fire that keeps burning even when the wind tries to blow it out. That's what defines you. That's what makes your story worth telling. So when you wake up tomorrow and the world feels heavy, remind yourself, this is part of your legacy. Every challenge, every obstacle, every hard day is shaping the masterpiece of your life. You were built for this. You were made to overcome this. You were designed to endure this. Because inside of you is a spirit that doesn't break, a heart that doesn't quit, and a purpose that doesn't fade. Life is not easy. It's hard. But that's exactly why it's worth fighting for. And when it's all over, when your time comes and people speak your name, they won't remember how easy your life was. They'll remember how strong you were. They'll remember how you stood tall when others fell. They'll remember that you never gave up, that you kept going no matter what. And that right there will be your legacy.